Now, breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
Right now at 8 o'clock, hit and run arrest. This morning, a driver accused of killing a lineman with his truck was taken into custody. New information this morning as his family says he did not know about the crash.
And the Halloween forecast looks fantastic. Temperatures will be mild this afternoon. We'll talk about the trick-or-treat time temperatures, plus the frost advisory for parts of the area tonight.
And while we're on the subject, trick-or-treating safety, it's very important for families to be vigilant while out on the roads tonight. What you need to know before going out this Halloween night. And we'll be out there with our little ones, looking forward to it. It's going to be great. Thanks for staying with us here at the 8 o'clock hour. I'm Ken Smith.
And I'm Michelle McConaughey. Yeah, kid-free right now. So we're going to go enjoy a nice adult Halloween evening, you know. It's going to be great. We have friends that we go. They have little kids. It's a great time.
Love it.
All right, let's get over to meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. It'll be a nice night tonight.
It really will. I mean, we are pretty much cloud-free right now, and we should stay that way for the bulk of the day. Here's a live look at Chapel Hill. People out there walking around. It's colder this morning than it was yesterday. Looks like a lot of people are bundled up. Our temperatures are in the mid-40s in the Triangle with a west wind at about 6 miles per hour, but that will increase as we get through the afternoon. Gusts up to around 20, 25. Temperatures in the mid-60s, and then once we get into the trick-or-treat time period, we're going to drop on into the 50s. So we go from 61 at 6 o'clock down to 58 at around 7. It drops even faster overnight tonight as we have a frost advisory in effect for parts of the area. I'll show you who will be affected. Coming up, Ken.
All right, Elizabeth, right now we're seeing some off and on congestion on US 1 North around Highway 55. Right now it's off. You can see traffic flowing nicely in around that area of US 1 and 55. You get a little farther up the street, a little bit of a congestion right there. You're looking at just a 1-minute delay, so nothing really that's going to make you late. I-40 and Lake Wheeler Road, the southern loop of the Beltline. Those are the westbound lanes moving away from us this morning. I got to remind you, if you're traveling east this morning, watch for that sun glare delay. You might affect your visibility, so keep that in mind. And this beautiful fall morning that we're seeing here. That southern loop of the Beltline, really, you're just looking at a 1-minute delay. And other routes connected to I-40, all delay-free at this hour. In terms of other routes coming into Wake County, Raleigh this morning, you're looking at a 7-minute delay if you're coming in from Wake Forest, just a 1-minute delay if you're coming in from Nidale this morning. You're getting ready to head into the car. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Here in the WRAL Live Center, I have my eye on the situation where Sky 5 is right now. You can see they're slowly zooming into this crash. This is in Wayne County on NC 581, not too far from Nahunta Farm Road. And you'll see there's this dark colored SUV. That's one of the vehicles here. Nearby, there's some debris that's on the road. And as you move further up the road, you'll see there's that tire that's just kind of sitting there. There's the fire truck, but also there's this GMC, this white SUV that is right here. That's where we're trying to get information in terms of just how serious this crash has been. We're trying to see if there are other investigators are showing up, maybe a crime reconstruction team that'll be there. But as soon as we get more information from investigators where Sky 5 is right now in Wake County, we'll let you know here on WRAL News.
All right, thanks, Chris. This morning, a man is in custody after troopers say he hit and killed a line worker. Overnight, Highway Patrol impounded the truck involved in that crash. They found that truck about 10 miles away from the scene near Smithfield. WRAL's Ali Calabar is at the State Highway Patrol headquarters this morning. Ali, we've heard from a family member of the driver this morning. What did they say?
That family member, Michelle, told us that the driver planned to turn himself in this morning. But late last night, a State Highway Patrol tracked down the truck that was involved in this crash. And 2 hours later, they found and arrested the driver.
We have his mugshot. This is Ronald Mayo. Video from the WRAL breaking news tracker shows troopers taking Mayo into custody just before midnight. He's accused of driving the flatbed truck that hit a power line, killing line worker James Rudsky and injuring another. Authorities searched for the driver of that truck for more than 24 hours. Video captured that truck being towed from private property near US 70 in Smithfield. That's where Mayo was found. A family member who owns the flatbed truck spoke with WRAL. They did not want to be identified, but the person shared this statement, quote, "Our hearts and prayers go out to the family of the Pike Electric worker recently killed in the unfortunate accident. The driver of the vehicle was not even aware of their apparent involvement until recently. There is much incorrect information being shared, and we look forward to a complete investigation of this unfortunate incident, end quote.
And we're hoping to learn more information today in Mayo's first court appearance, which is expected to be at 2. WRAL will be there. We know from State Highway Patrol that he's being charged with felony hit and run involving death. Reporting live in Raleigh, Ali Kathabar, WRAL News.
And new this morning, police in Johnston County are trying to find a driver who led them on a chase in a box truck that ended with the truck overturned. The crash happened on the on-ramp to I-95 from Bagley Road near Kenley around 3 this morning. Pine Level police say the driver had jumped into the truck when they responded to a braking and entering call. After the crash, the driver ran from the scene. Kenley Police, State Highway Patrol, and the Johnston County Sheriff's Office are helping with the investigation.
At midnight, the government shutdown will hit the 1-month mark as we take a live look at the Capitol this morning. SNAP food assistance programs will run out of money. You also have an open enrollment beginning for Affordable Care Act programs starting tomorrow. The policies are expected to increase drastically in cost. Now, despite the shutdown, members of the military will be paid tomorrow. The Trump administration plans to pay the troops using a mix of legislative and Defense Department funds. It's the second time the White House has been able to pay the troops during the government shutdown. Service members are considered essential federal employees and are required to work during the shutdown. Essential workers typically are not paid during shutdowns.
Nearly 1 million North Carolinians who rely on the Affordable Care Act will pay more next year. Healthcare premiums for insurers who offer ACA plans will rise on average by 30%. Open enrollment starts tomorrow. That's when many people will notice the steep increases. COVID-era enhanced tax credits will expire in December. Democrats are pushing for those credits to be extended, while Republicans have fought to end them.
Completely avoidable. But D.C. Republicans would rather shut down the government than extend the ACA tax credits and lower health care costs.
In a statement, a spokesperson for Republican politician and candidate for U.S. Senate Michael Whatley responded with this statement, saying in part, quote, "There can be no negotiations while Democrats hold the American people hostage with their government shutdown."
As the need for food for families becomes more urgent, Michelle, Governor Josh Stein announcing a $10 million grant for food banks all across North Carolina. The money is coming from organizations such as the David and Nicole Tepper Foundation. That's the owners of the Carolina Panthers, by the way. The announcement comes ahead of the federal suspension of SNAP benefits. More than 1 million North Carolinians rely on food assistance. In the next 10 minutes, we'll share even more resources for anyone who relies on SNAP food assistance.
Hurricane Melissa has devastated the Caribbean. At least 36 people have died from the storm in Jamaica, Haiti, and the Dominican Republic. A local family is stuck in Jamaica right now. They've been forced to extend their stay as some of the country's airports are left severely damaged. Those extra days come with a high price tag.
They have jobs here. You know, we shouldn't be essentially allowed to stay for free, but it's definitely going to get a little expensive over the next few days.
Bridget Todd and her husband Wayne were told their stay would be complimentary until the Montego Bay Airport is repaired. After that, they have to pay $500 a night. Travel agents say that is a reminder of why travel insurance is so important.
Well, this Halloween night, it's important to put safety first. Let's get right to WRAL's Kelsey Coffee live outside a haunted house in North Raleigh. And Kelsey, ghouls, goblins, and ghosts aren't the only dangers tonight as families head out to trick or treat.
Yes, Ken, tonight children will be walking through Edwards Battled Haunted House and Candyland in North Raleigh. This is a great place for some spooky fun. And we all know that Halloween is an enjoyable time for kids and families, but it's also one of the most dangerous nights of the year for both pedestrians and drivers. We'll show you some video now of Halloween last year. With the holiday falling on a Friday this year, there may be an even greater risk. Trick-or-treaters walking outside, more weekend parties, and a higher chance of drunk driving makes a dangerous combination. Children are more than twice as likely to be hit and killed by a vehicle on Halloween. That's according to Safe Kids Worldwide. AAA says it's best for children to trick or treat before nightfall.
I would encourage, especially with the little ones, to get out before it's pitch black. Visibility, we know sometimes in neighborhoods can be a little tricky. There's not as many street lights on. So you want to make sure that you're trick-or-treating in well-lit areas.
All right, Cub Scouts.
And AAA also says that parents should walk with their children as they trick or treat. Don't drop them off and let them explore the neighborhood by themselves. This haunted house here will be open tonight from 7 until 9, and entry is free. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
All right, in Chapel Hill, the annual Halloween celebration will take over Franklin Street as usual. This year, the town says there will be no parking restrictions and road closures. Chapel Hill Police will be leading an alcohol safety operation tonight as well. Drivers are encouraged to watch out for people who might be trick-or-treating or walking to parties. The Miami Dolphins hosting the Baltimore Ravens to get Week 9 of the NFL season started. Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson returned after missing the last 3 games with an injury. Well, he threw 4 touchdown passes to lead his team to a dramatic victory. The Ravens held the Dolphins without a touchdown, winning that game 28-6. Week 9 of the NFL season continues Sunday right here on Fox 50 and over on our sister station WRAL. First, the Carolina Panthers will be in Green Bay to take on the Packers. Kickoff of that game is set for 1 p.m. again right here on Fox 50. And later, turn it over to WRAL for Sunday Night Football. The Seattle Seahawks taking on the Washington Commanders. Football Night in America starts at 7. The kickoff of that game, 8:15.
Coming up, soybean agreement. President Trump made a deal with China over soybean exports. How this deal will reach local farmers.
And Veterans Day parades. Well, this weekend, Fayetteville will honor our troops. The information you need to know about this year's event and other weekend celebrations all ahead in our Out and About segment.
And we're looking at a comfortable afternoon with mid-60s, but then our temperatures take a big dive. We could see frosty conditions in parts of the viewing area tonight and tomorrow night. I'll show you. It's 8:14, and Melissa is still a hurricane flying across the Atlantic up to the North Atlantic and will gradually begin to dissipate. Right now, it's moving northeast at 41 miles per hour with winds at 90. We can just see how fast the center of circulation is moving. This storm's not going to be much of an issue for anyone, except watch what happens when we take a look at our forecast track up here in the Canadian Maritimes. We do have the system moving through late tonight, early tomorrow, right past some of those islands, so they could definitely see some windy conditions there, maybe some heavy surf along those islands. Then it moves into the North Atlantic and we are done with it. Fortunately, we're going to see a beautiful day for it today, and the weekend looks great, but our next weather maker arrives Sunday night. I'll show you when rain could begin.
All right, let's we're taking a look at that northern loop of the Beltline. Here's I-440 in Glenwood Avenue. These are the westbound lanes coming toward us. And I want to remind our drivers, you're heading east this morning, you're going to run into some sun glare, so be mindful of that visibility. You could run into some sun glare delay. But really and truly, if we widen out the picture and give you a look at that northern loop of the Beltline, starting at the 87-440 split all the way over to Wade Avenue this morning, nothing but clear sailing. So that's really good news. I'll take a look at some of the drive times on some other major routes heading into Wade County and Raleigh, coming up in less than 10 minutes.
Thanks, Ken. The American Fish Company is back open in Southport after the mass shooting there back in September. These are photos of their reopening shared to Facebook last night. Police say Nigel Edge pulled up there in a boat and opened fire. 3 people were killed, several others were hurt. American Fish Company will be open Thursday through Sunday night for the next 6 weeks. And every year we hear the same warning. Keep an eye on the candy in your kids' trick-or-treat bags. They might have drugs in them. So WRAL reached out to local law enforcement about what to look out for, what parents should be looking for. They say THC products can come in packaging that looks like candy on the surface. Detective Bertoloni showed us examples of some products on the shelves.
A lot of the packaging, which is commercially available, can look in the form of an Oreo package. We have seen stuffed cereal bags, pina colada mixes.
Other drugs like rainbow fentanyl can look like candy as well. Fortunately, the Attorney General's office tells us they have not had any instances of drugged Halloween candy in North Carolina.
Well, the U.S. says China has agreed to buy 25 million metric tons of U.S. soybeans annually. This is an agreement forged between President Trump and China's President Xi Jinping. The two met in South Korea to talk about the future of trade. Soybean farmers were hit hard by President Trump's tariffs with China. Data from the U.S. Department of Agriculture shows soybeans were the largest agricultural export last year. And here in North Carolina, the crop is a $643 million industry. Farmers planted more than 1.6 million acres last year. Nearly every county has a soybean farm. Sampson, Johnston, Wayne counties are all among the top producers.
The town of Knightdale wants to help people who are hurting from federal funding delays. It's in partnership with Wake County. Homeowners receiving utilities through the city of Raleigh can fill out an application for benefits. Warmth for Wake offers 2 cords of firewood or a space heater. You can also get help with food. You can find more information on the town's website. And a local business also planning to help families worried about losing SNAP benefits. Google Huff, Durham and Chapel Hill locations will offer free loaves of bread to anyone with an EBT card. The offer starts tomorrow and is only available in person during business hours. Well, it's an exciting weekend of fall festivals.
And beautiful weather to go with it, too. It's time for WRAL's Out and About Best Bets.
Yeah, it's a celebration of Chinese food and culture in Cary. Tomorrow, the Taste of China Festival. It'll take over downtown Cary Park from 11 to 5. Admission is free. Enjoy food vendors, children activities, and live performances. And Renee will be the MC on the main stage starting at 1 p.m.
Wilson County is celebrating the WRAL Gig Festival this weekend. It's the annual event's 21st year. The family-friendly celebration features artisan crafts, music, food, and of course, the legendary WRAL Gigs. It runs from 10 in the morning until 6 tomorrow evening and 11 to 5 on Sunday.
And tomorrow, a Diwali festival is happening in Wake Forest. You can celebrate the Festival of Lights at Joyner Park from noon until 3 on Saturday. There will be food, music activities, and of course, plenty of light displays. The event is free and open to the public. And for more information on weekend best bets, go to WRAL.com and search Out and About. And as Ken was mentioning earlier, it's going to be a great weekend for anything you plan to do outside. I know tonight, Elizabeth, Halloween, a lot of kids are going to be out. They might want to wear the long sleeves under their costumes.
Yeah, temperatures are going to be cool for sure. We take a look at what's happening right now. Chilly this morning. Temperatures have been in the mid 40s, but we'll climb into the mid 60s this afternoon. Lots of sunshine out there and we'll stay sunny and bright. It is going to be a little breezy this afternoon with some gusts up to 25 miles per hour. But once we get to trick or treat time, those temperatures will start to fall. If you're out early, 63 at 5 o'clock, at 6 o'clock, 61, and kind of wrapping things up around 8 or 9 o'clock. Temperatures will be in the mid 50s, but skies will be clear. It really will feel nice out there. Wind gusts this afternoon are going to be, again, 20 to 25 miles per hour or so. And we're looking at the potential for some frost overnight tonight. Temperatures will fall pretty fast overnight. And our northwestern and western counties are under a frost advisory. We could see temperatures easily in the mid 30s there. And we'll take another look at that coming up in just a bit. Matter of fact, at 8:45, I'll go through town by town and talk about what the actual lows will be. In Fayetteville, Raleigh, Apex, Chapel Hill, just gorgeous out there right now. So pretty, but it is colder than it was this time yesterday. This time yesterday, we had this low pressure system and front moving across our area. It has moved on up to New York, where it caused a lot of problems late yesterday. They ended up with, in New York City, about 2 inches of rainfall. And you can see here flooded roads. We had, of course, the subway actually even flooded. And then unfortunately, 2 people died, one of those from a flooded basement. So it was tough to see that. That system, of course, continues to move right on out of here and on up into Canada. And we're nice and clear behind it, and that's what's going to bring us some nice weather for the weekend until Sunday night. And then another coastal low will develop, and we're watching to see how far inland this will push. Yesterday, it looked pretty far offshore. Today, the models are in better agreement that we'll have a better chance for some rain, possibly half an inch to an inch of rain. That rain begins late Sunday. You can see see by around 1 a.m. or so, and then kind of on and off Monday, but could last all the way into Tuesday. Potential rainfall, again, looking at maybe a half an inch to an inch. This is backed off again with very little rain. So the models have really gone back and forth on that. So do check with us on Sunday, and we'll have the latest. Also, don't forget on Saturday night to set those clocks back. We go back to standard time this weekend.
Extra hour of sleep. Hey, let's start on the southern loop of the belt. I'll give you a live look at I-40 and Lake Wheeler Road this morning. Those are the westbound lanes moving away from us as you get ready to head out. That's part of your morning commute. Up and down the board, anything connected to I-40 westbound, delay-free at this hour. Now, that northern loop of the belt line, similarly, we're not seeing any delays whatsoever. I-440 and Glenwood Avenue. You folks on those eastbound lanes, watch for those sun glare delays because of this the sunshine that we have out there. And taking a wider view of that northern loop of the belt line, you can see it's all delay-free from the 87 Beltline interchange all the way over to Wade Avenue. No problems to report this morning. So in terms of other routes coming into Wake County and Raleigh this morning, really the only trouble spot is Wake Forest. You're looking at a 4-minute delay. You're getting ready to head into the Cartoonist Center on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
All right, thanks, Ken. Murder suspect manhunt. Schools in Vanceboro are remote today while the search is on for this person. Details of the stabbing that killed the suspect's grandmother and hurt a deputy. Plus, a hit-and-run arrest. A man is in custody after troopers say he killed a lineman with his truck, where they were able to find him this morning.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
Good morning. Happy Friday. Happy Halloween. Time now is 8:26. I'm Michelle McConaughey. We are in for a beautiful Halloween forecast. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner here with it.
Yes, looking gorgeous. This is a live look at Chapel Hill. Skies are clear. Temperatures are colder than they were yesterday. I see some people standing there at the sidewalk going, It's 46 degrees right now. Our winds are fairly light currently out of the west at 6 miles per hour, but it will be breezy by the afternoon with some gusts up to 25 miles per hour. We climb into the mid-60s this afternoon, and trick-or-treat time temperatures will be dropping back down into the mid-50s. Ken?
What's happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center? We got I-40 and Lake Wheeler Road. Those are the southern loop of the belt line. The westbound lanes moving away from us this morning. And basically, we're seeing relatively to no delays on many of our major routes. It's a 4-minute delay coming in from Wake Forest. We're hearing about a crash in Fuque River Arena on Sunset Lake Road and McLaurin Lane. We've got a crew on the way to the scene. We'll let you know how that's going to affect your morning commute. Coming up at the bottom of the hour over on Fox 50.
Thank you, Ken. Halloween is an exciting time for kids, but it can also be one of the most dangerous nights of the year for drivers and pedestrians. AAA is encouraging parents to walk with their children while they trick or treat. They also say the best time to go is before nightfall to ensure that drivers can see you. And today, a candlelight vigil will be held for a couple who was killed by their 17-year-old foster child. Ted and Joanne Chavis were murdered at a home on Cope Road. Friends and family will gather in Red Springs at 7 this evening. Guests are asked to wear red for Ted and purple for Joanne. Next on Fox 50, how a box truck crash this morning is connected to the search for a break-in suspect. And ahead on Today, it's a Today Halloween.
Now, breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
At 8:30, hit-and-run arrest. Overnight, troopers found the truck that hit and killed a utility worker in Johnson County. We have a statement from the family of the driver who was arrested.
And perfect weather for trick-or-treating. Temperatures will be in the mid-60s for highs this afternoon, then dipping into the 50s. I'll walk you through it hour by hour.
And a safe and fun night. The important information you need to keep in mind as kids hit the streets for trick-or-treating tonight. Happy Halloween. Lots of people going to be out and about this evening. We'll get to that story coming up. I'm Michelle McConaughey.
And I'm Ken Smith. And the Smith family will be right out there.
Yes.
Most present. It's going to be a beautiful evening for you. Let's go to meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center, tracking it all for us.
Yeah, it's gorgeous out there right now. We take a live look at downtown Raleigh. You can see it's a bit breezy. The camera is glitching just a little bit, but the flags are whipping around out there. The trees are moving just a little bit. Our winds are currently steady at about 6 miles per hour. Not seeing technically a lot of gusts right now, but this afternoon we could be gusting up to around 25 miles per hour. It's 46 degrees, so cooler than it was this time yesterday, but a nice afternoon with mid-60s and lots of sunshine. This evening, temperatures will drop slowly, 63 degrees at 5 o'clock, and then by 7 o'clock, 58. But then after midnight, temperatures will start to drop a bit faster, and we could see 30s in some places, some patchy frost, a frost advisory for parts of the viewing area. I'll show you who.
8:31, Elizabeth, happening now. We're going to start on that southern loop of the Beltline, give you a live look at I-40 and Lake Wheeler Road. Those are the westbound lanes moving away from us this morning. Traffic is moving at a nice steady clip up and down the board. Anything connected to I-40 westbound, delay-free. If you're coming in from Garner, Johnston County, no delays whatsoever between Highway 36 and the Beltline this morning. So that's really good news. Now, the northern loop of the Beltline, we're not seeing any delays as well. The I-440 Glenwood Avenue camera right here. No, you folks driving on the east side, you might want to be mindful of that sun glare, that you might see some delays as a result of that. Right now, the big picture right now, you can see nothing but delay-free. It's running into a little bit of delay right beyond Glenwood Avenue, but other than that, between 887 and 440 all the way to Wade Avenue, delay-free at this hour. In terms of other major routes coming into the capital city, you're just looking at a 4-minute delay coming in from Wake Forest, just a 1-minute delay from Nidell. We're also hearing about a serious crash in Fuque River Arena on Sunset Lake Road and McLaurin Lane. We have Sky 5 headed to that scene. As soon as we get eyes on it, we'll let you know exactly how this could affect your morning commute.
Ken, I want to go ahead and take a look at what Sky 5 was at not too long ago. This is in Wayne County, NC 581. The video you're seeing here, Sky 5 was above it. You'll see there's that fire truck that was there. But at one point, we also saw an ambulance that was on scene. And we're being told, at least from what we can tell on the ground, this is some kind of crash involving at least 2 different vehicles here. I'm going to see if I can go forward just a little bit so we can see a little bit better. There we go. We can start to see those vehicles out there on the car, on the road, I should say. There's that dark colored SUV. And there was also a white GMC not too far away that also seemed to be a part of this. In terms of if there are any injuries or possibly any deaths, that's what we're trying to confirm right now on WRAL. As soon as we have more answers on that, we'll bring it to you here.
Appreciate that. Schools in Vansboro along the North Carolina coast operating remotely for a second day as authorities are trying to find a murder suspect who ran from the scene. Deputies are looking for Dominic Connolly. You see his picture right there on the screen. Deputies say he killed his 72-year-old grandmother and stabbed a deputy in the foot at a fast food restaurant as he tried to get away. Drones and helicopters are involved in the search. Authorities believe Connolly is still in Vansboro area. Residents say they just want him caught soon.
Highway Patrol says they tracked down.
Out of the house all day until about 30 minutes ago. My doors are locked. My garage is secured. My son came and checked my buildings to make sure there was nothing in them, and really afraid just to leave home almost.
Authorities say people should continue to expect a heavy law enforcement presence in that area until Connolly is found.
Breaking news, the driver accused of hitting and killing a utility worker in Johnston County has been arrested. Overnight troopers impounded the truck they say hit James Rudsky on Wednesday. They found that truck about 10 miles away from the crash scene near Smithfield. Allie Calabar is in the WRAL breaking news tracker. And Allie, we heard from a family member of the driver.
That family member says the driver said that he planned to turn himself in this morning, but late last night, State Highway Patrol troopers found that truck, and then 2 hours later, they arrested the driver and found him.
We have his mugshot. This is Ronald Mayo. Video from the WRAL breaking news tracker shows troopers taking Mayo into custody just before midnight. He's accused of driving the flatbed truck that hit a power line, killing line worker James Rudsky and injuring another. Authorities searched for the driver of that truck for more than 24 hours. Video captured that truck being towed from private property near US 70 in Smithfield. That's where Mayo was found. A family member who owns the flatbed truck spoke with WRAL. They did not want to be identified, but the person shared this statement, quote, "Our hearts and prayers go out to the family of the Pike Electric worker recently killed in the unfortunate accident. The driver of the vehicle was not even aware of their apparent involvement until recently. There is much incorrect information being shared, and we look forward to a complete investigation of this unfortunate incident," end quote.
State Highway Patrol says Mayo is being charged with felony hit and run involving death. His bond is set at $50,000, and his first court appearance is today at 2 p.m. We still have a lot of questions about this incident. WRAL is going to be there. Reporting live in Raleigh, Ali Kathabar, WRAL News.
Howe County deputies are investigating a homicide. They were called to Pierce Place for a well-being check when they found a woman's body. The victim is Connie Lennon. Deputies are asking for witnesses to come forward with any information.
A JetBlue flight from Cancun, Mexico to Newark, New Jersey, making an emergency landing in Tampa after a sudden drop in altitude. At least 15 people were taken to a Tampa area hospital. They are expected to be okay, though. JetBlue grounding that plane for inspection. The FAA is investigating this incident.
Major changes take effect at midnight. SNAP food assistance programs will run out of money. The government shutdown will hit the 1-month mark, and open enrollment begins for Affordable Care Act medical plans. The policies are expected to go up drastically in cost. And despite the shutdown, members of the military will be paid today. The Trump administration plans to pay the troops using a mix of legislative and Defense Department funds. It's the second time the White House has been able to pay the troops during the government shutdown. Essential workers typically are not paid during shutdowns.
And Michelle, the federal shutdown is hitting close to home. The USDA's decision to pause November SNAP benefit affects more than 333,000 Cumberland County families. However, October benefits remain available, and EBT cards can still be used. People who are encouraged to continue applying for assistance online or in person. Well, St. Augustine's University and the Food Bank of North Carolina will team up today for free food pop-up market. The event runs from 9 o'clock in the morning, just a short time from now, until 11 o'clock on St. Aug's campus here in Raleigh. IDs or income requirements not needed. Everyone is welcome. It's an effort to help families have access to fresh groceries and essential resources at this time.
National Guard troops are expected to be deployed in Washington, D.C. through at least next February. Their service was supposed to wrap up at the end of November before Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth extended their orders. The president is deploying the troops to Democrat-run cities. He says it's needed to fight crime. The move has received protests, pushback, and legal challenges. Well, it is Halloween, and excitement is in the air as children prepare to head out for a night of trick-or-treating. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey is at a haunted house in North Raleigh with advice to families on how they can stay safe while having fun.
Tonight, children will walk through Edwards Battle Haunted House and Candyland here in North Raleigh for some spooky fun. Now, we all know that Halloween is a great time for families to enjoy, but it's also one of the most dangerous nights of the year for both drivers and pedestrians. You're looking at video of Halloween last year. With the holiday falling on a Friday this year, there may be an even greater safety risk. Trick-or-treaters walking outside, more weekend parties, and a higher chance of drunk driving makes a dangerous combination. Children are more than twice as likely to be hit and killed by a vehicle on Halloween, according to Safe Kids Worldwide. AAA is encouraging parents to walk with their children as they trick-or-treat.
You should be with your kids, and if you have the ability to park on the side of the road and travel with your kids, especially those little ones, because they tend to dart in and out of traffic because they just get excited out there. So I think that's something to think about is consider not just dropping your kids off and letting them explore a neighborhood.
AAA says parents should also take their children trick-or-treating before nightfall. That way drivers will be able to see you. This haunted house here will be open tonight from 7 until 9, and entry is free. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News in Raleigh.
Now to baseball tonight. The Toronto Blue Jays have a chance to clinch the World Series. They host the LA Dodgers for Game 6. The Blue Jays have a 3-2 game advantage, so one more win and they get the title. You can watch all the action starting at 8 right here on Fox 15. Also tonight, the UNC Tar Heels trying to snap a losing streak on the football field. They'll be in Syracuse to play the Orange. The Tar Heels are 2-5 on the season after losing 4 games in a row. They'll try to get back on the winning side when the game kicks off at 7:30 tonight. Also, NC State and Duke are in action tomorrow. Keep that in mind. The Blue Devils play at Clemson in a game that starts at noon. The Wolfpack will host Georgia Tech right here at Carter Finley Stadium. That kickoff is set for 7:30 tomorrow night.
Disney goes dark. Popular channels like ESPN and ABC disappear from YouTube TV. What's behind the blackout and how long it could last?
All right, heading to break, we want to give you this live look right now at Beaufort. A beautiful fall morning on the North Carolina coast. You got to love that. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner will tell us about the clear skies for Halloween and the weekend ahead.
.44. It is a chilly start out there, but nice and clear. Wilson's at 47, 46 in Durham, 47 in Fayetteville. You may be able to see the whirligigs spinning around a little bit faster. We are going to see some gusty winds this afternoon, 20 to 25 miles per hour. But that's not likely to last through the evening. Once we get past sunset, those winds will begin to die down. But 25 mile per hour winds could mean some of those Halloween decorations move around just a little bit. It's a football Friday, and temperature at game times likely to be in the upper 50s, and then we'll drop into the low 50s by the time the games are over. And of course, that's same for trick-or-treating in terms of temperatures. Tomorrow, Georgia Tech plays at NC State, but it's an evening game at 7:30, so it is going to be fairly chilly for that game. Both tonight and tomorrow night, we have the potential for some frost. I'll show you where there's a frost advisory coming up. Ken?
Staying on top of all our major routes, including I-40 and Lake Wheeler Road. These are the southern loop of the Beltline. The westbound lanes moving away from us this morning. Really and truly light traffic to report on our major routes. And anything connected to I-40 westbound part of your morning commute, you see it right here up and down the board. Nothing but delay free. Coming up, we'll take a look at some of the other major routes and your drive time coming into the capital city and Wake County this morning in less than 10 minutes.
Authorities say a man killed in a motorcycle crash in Fayetteville was speeding at nearly 3 times the limit. Police say Trenton Thompson was also doing a wheelie moments before that crash on Wednesday. While on Gillespie Street, a car hit him as he was making a turn. He died at the hospital. No charges have been filed. We are hearing from a former Israeli hostage. Moran Yanai was abducted from the Nova Music Festival 2 years ago. She was held in Gaza for 54 days until her release in November. She was in Durham last night to recount the attack and her abduction.
In the end, if I need to take myself to a week after captivity, then I found myself forgetting about the pain really fast, trying to focus in the amount of faith that I was experiencing in captivity and how I translate it back to real life.
Since her release, Yanai has traveled around the world to share her story.
And also, Michelle, the bodies of 2 Israeli hostages were returned to Israel, according to a statement from the Israeli military. Hamas releasing the bodies of Irema Cooper and Shamar Barak yesterday. The release comes one day after a series of Israeli strikes shook the ceasefire deal. Now, under that deal, Hamas agreed to return Palestinian prisoners and wartime detainees, as well as the remaining 28 dead hostages. Hamas has now released about 15 bodies.
The State Board of Elections admitted it made a mistake. It told hundreds of people they missed a key voter registration deadline. Officials say no one's registration was canceled or changed because of the error, but letters did go out to about 1,000 people with the false warnings. If you got that letter and you have any questions or you want to verify your voter registration status, just contact your county elections board. Well, Disney's channels are off YouTube TV, and that's because the 2 companies failed to reach a deal before yesterday's deadline. The blackout affects ESPN, ABC, Disney Channel, FX, National Geographic, and Freeform. The 2 companies remain in talks, but there's no word on when programming will return.
Heavy rains causing significant flooding in New York City Thursday. You can see cars submerged in the rushing flood waters. The rain caused even some subway platforms to flood. Firefighters found a person dead while responding to a call of someone trapped in a basement apartment there in Brooklyn. A second person was found inside a flooded boiler room.
It looks like what they're experiencing in the Northeast is having an effect on travel. I'm looking here at the misery map from FlightAware. Let me go ahead and hit refresh here real quick to see if there's been an update in the past 30 seconds or so. But it looks like they're tracking about 248 delays and 76 cancellations. See that NYC there on the map? Yeah, this is where that's affecting. Boston and D.C. as well. But mostly NYC and Boston are the 2 places I'm looking at. In terms of airline, the cancellations here, I think it's RDU. Did that come up? Yeah, there we go. Had a little trouble reloading that page there. 9 different delays at RDU for the time being. So, yeah, just check your your ticket just in case you head out there before you leave, because you may have a delay you're just not privy to just yet.
Time for a look at what's trending. If you're a fan of the Jetsons, this might be the Rosie you've been waiting for.
This is Neo, a robot housekeeper created by an AI and robotics company. Neo can clean your house, do your laundry, even water your plants. And if you're in need of a dance break, it can also do that too. It weighs 66 pounds. It stands 5 feet 6 inches tall. It runs a cool $20,000.
Neo, well, I was going to say you're high, but with 20 grand, no thanks.
What?
Well, don't worry. The company says there are lots of security features, so this does not turn into the Terminator. Yikes. But you do have to sign a waiver because the human operators of the robot have to be able to see into your home in order to perform these tasks.
No, I don't think
Are you in?
No, I'm not in.
Yeah,
That's a
it's
little creepy for
me.
me.
Too invasive for me.
Yeah.
Well, if you're planning to dress up, and you may be surprised to learn that your costume can reveal quite a bit about your personality, Cleveland Clinic says there's a term in psychology known as enclothed cognition, which is a thought that we wear impacts how we feel. For example, someone dressed as a superhero may find that they feel more confident or brave. Extroverts may want to wear a costume that draws attention to or makes people laugh. Meanwhile, introverts may pick something that's a bit more low-key. As for masks and makeup, that can have meaning as well.
If you are wearing a mask or heavy makeup, it may make you feel more anonymous. This lowers our self-consciousness and lowers our inhibition. So you may act in ways that you don't normally act day to day. And it's a low risk situation to explore different parts of your personality.
Well, Dr. Albert says if you prefer to do group costumes with family and friends, they may show that you value connection and social bonding.
It's a spooky night at the governor's mansion. First Lady Anna Stein is opening the doors for an evening of trick-or-treating and family fun. This is from 6 to 8 p.m. All ages are welcome. It's a safe and festive way to celebrate Halloween at the governor's mansion. How amazing to be able to go there on Halloween. And your Halloween forecast looking great. A little chilly right now and going to be chilly later, but overall, I mean, sunshine, so it's nice.
The sunshine always helps, too. And temperatures will climb into the mid-60s for this afternoon. We are seeing colder temperatures this morning than we did yesterday. We've been down into the mid-40s, and yesterday we were more like upper 50s. But yesterday, we also had a front coming through and some clouds and some showers, so it is much prettier out there. As we get into the evening, we're going to see temperatures dropping back into the 50s around trick-or-treat time, but we'll walk through that hour by hour coming up in just a minute. Looking outside, this is a look at the legislative building. You can see the flags are moving, the trees are moving. It's already beginning to get a little breezy out there. We have winds out of the west at 6 miles per hour right now, but we'll see gusts this afternoon around 20 to 25. 46 degrees right now. Again, those winds about 5 to 10 miles per hour currently, but not a lot of gusts right now. But again, gusting 20 to 25 later on this afternoon. Around town this afternoon, temperatures are in the mid-60s, feeling nice and comfortable. A little breezy. Some of those Halloween decorations might move around just a little bit, but still going to be very nice for trick-or-treating. The winds will begin to die down. 5 o'clock, 63. At 6 o'clock, 61. By 8 o'clock, we dip it down into the mid-50s. So not bad at all. Some important things you might want to know. The sun sets tonight at 6:19, if that affects when you might go out, and a bit of a moon. It's not full, but 80% illuminated, and so it'll be nice to see some of that moon out there tonight. Temperatures tonight are really going to drop down into the mid-30s for most of us. 34 in Roxborough, 35 in Lewisburg, 37 Wilson, 35 in Roanoke Rapids. Down to the south, 35 in Southern Pines, 32 in Robbins, 34 Sanford, 37 in Irwin. So a lot of folks will have the potential for at least some patchy frost, especially our northern and western counties. So there is a frost advisory in effect there. Also this weekend, don't forget to set the clocks back before you go to bed Saturday night. The weekend looks really nice, but Sunday night into Monday, we have the chance of some scattered showers. After that, we dry out, and it's pretty mild again on Thursday with a high of 70.
All right, thanks, Elizabeth. Before we go to break, here are your winning lottery numbers. We'll get another check on weather and traffic next.